This is Tom Myers, Superintendent, Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. The school year is about ready to begin, and just a few updates from the board meeting last night. Actually, I start off with the joint board meeting we had with the Andrew Community School District last evening on Monday, August 14th, that is. We agreed to continue the whole grade sharing agreement for the high school students, grades 9 through 12. Andrew has an agreement with both Bellevue and Maquoketa. This year we have about 10 students coming to the Bellevue Community School District in grades 9 through 12 from Andrew, so happy to have those here, and they have a lot of great opportunities here, basically. And we believe very strongly in what we do and believe we can provide a quality education for the Andrew students along with any other Bellevue students or any other students that are here. In the regular board meeting last evening, we just had a few things I will highlight that way to start off. We had a bill for Cole Park that we split with Marquette Catholic and the city of Bellevue for around $3,704. And that was for some of the new surface on the softball diamond, along with some red clay bricks for the pitching mounds and some other areas like that. We had recommendations to hire. We had Bridget Small approved by the board for the high school cheerleading position. She's already started and really working at cheerleading. If you have a daughter interested in cheerleading, please contact the school ASAP. We also approved Michael Steinis as a substitute bus driver that way. With the common curriculum, we presented some things on the Iowa Youth Survey, have seen some improvements in a variety of areas. Our alcohol use has reduced significantly. And another area, our bullying and harassment reporting has gone down significantly as well. And there's some other things, and those are online on the superintendent page at the Bellevue Community School District site that way. Mr. Wright came and spoke to the board about the Believe in the Blue Athletic Department program. It's a fundraising program for the athletic department. Businesses can advertise at the football games, basketball games, on the scoreboard at basketball games, and a variety of other ways, and receive some other things with it. Please check out our website for more information for not just businesses, but also individuals. By being a member, if you're a student, you may get a t-shirt, may get some free popcorns as family, whatever the case is, but check it out. There's some information there. I encourage you to be involved and support the comments in many ways. Mr. Wright also just shared some information on the cost of officials. A lot of times we think we go to the game, we pay the money, whatever the case is. For a normal varsity game in football, it's about $600 to pay for the officials. The JV games are roughly $150. Volleyball game costs about $350 for officials. Basketball games are about $450. And then baseball and softball games are about $400. Now remember, the volleyball is junior high or middle school all the way through the varsity that way. Baseball and softball are 2 softball games and 2 baseball games. And then basketball is also usually JV games and varsity games. So you can see there's some money that's definitely invested each time we have a home event that way. Also, Mr. Raker and Mr. Wright talked about the amount of students out for different athletic events right now and extracurriculars as a whole. And band, we just had band camp last week. We had about 31 students out total for band at this time. Cross country has about 25 high school students and another 20 middle school students. Football has about 35 high school students right now out for football, and volleyball has 40 students, and about 17 of them are freshmen, or roughly in that area. The board also voted to reduce the nutrition price for grades K through 5 to $2.60 per meal instead of $2.65. We had raised our price too much, and we basically wanted to raise it down to lower it a little bit, basically that way. Handbooks were approved for the district and middle school, high school staff, students, and different job categories within the district that way. One thing that I emphasize, a couple of things in the handbook for the district employees, is cell phones. Let's kind of read some underlined parts that I had here. As a professional in a professional environment, it is important to act professionally at all times, especially when we serve as role models for students on a daily basis. Cell phone use should be limited to times when you do not have students in your room or under your supervision. Go on, some other things like that too. And then grading policies, we need to make sure that we're contacting parents when we do have an issue on a grade or do have an issue with student learning to make sure they are aware of what's going on. As ultimately, as I have underlined in my notes here, it is unacceptable to fail a student without providing several interventions to students, contacting the student's parents regularly, and contacting the administration. Without providing these steps, it can be viewed ultimately as educational malpractice as a professional educator. We haven't had a huge problem with that, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows we want to try to reach students and their parents that way. And one thing that we're ultimately doing for this upcoming school year, staff is going to be required to call 4 parents a month at a minimum to touch base with them about what's going on, which many of our teachers do far more calls than that, but just at a minimum. We want to make sure we're making parent contacts and that we're also working with students to improve their learning. We have an agreement with student teaching at the University of Dubuque. We approved some depositor banks with the Bellevue State Bank, Fidelity Bank, IceJet, and Bankers Trust. Those are larger areas that we keep. Some of our other state level funds have to be there. Common School Finance, we talked about the aspect of we have overspent this year by roughly $100,000, a little more, and that's what we expected. We have an unspent balance there. We want to use it to provide that for our students as well. So that's where we're at that way. We also talked about an early retirement program, shared some information on that, and I have some of that information online. Also talked about a deficit we have in non-public school transportation of just under $10,000 this year. We are provided money from the state, but that doesn't make up for all the transportation that's there, and there's nothing we can do about that. Shared some comment reading and reflection, some basic goals that we have for the year with student learning. It's going to name off a few of these, making sure we have teacher effectiveness and learning experiences that are valuable to students, real and relevant. We are collaborating with other professionals within our district and other districts, sharing ideas and perspectives in many ways in that regard. We want to have a growth mindset, believing that we can accomplish anything. We talked about the 40. Maybe you've heard that before, but there's learning for 40 minutes, 40 days, and 40 years. 40 minutes is studying for an assignment that day or a quiz that day. 40 days maybe for a unit test. But the things that we want to have are happen are 40 years, that they stick with you forever. And a lot of that's applied learning and stepping beyond the textbook. And it's real, relevant learning and authentic learning for students and staff that way. So some things we shared there. Some other things I mentioned to the board as a whole, where we have our new teachers are coming in tomorrow, Wednesday, for a full day, and then we will meet with them and the board members, or some of the board members, from 6:30 to 7:30 at Offshore. Anyone's welcome to attend that. Then we have school board elections are on Tuesday, September 12th, and our next board meeting is a week later than normal. It's after board elections, so it'll be Monday, September 18th. The Iowa Association of School Board Conference is November 15th and 16th, with the annual convention on the 16th and the delegate assembly that we attend each year on. One of our members attends each year, Kevin Lundeen, on November 15th. It's some board member comments, just encouraging us to do business locally, and we try to do locally whenever possible. Working with some new businesses in town right now and doing some things with them already. We also talk about our Early Bird PE program, which has over 100 students in it. We're actually staffing that a little differently and working out some things like that so it can be more effective for all of our students that way. So those are just a few things I wanted to say. We do have one thing that was mentioned also on the school board elections. We have 3 candidates seeking 2 seats. So Mike Reed is currently on the school board and is running for re-election as an incumbent. Paul Fahey was on the school board, is not running for a seat again. So we have 2 other people also besides Mike Reed. So we have Mike Reed, Allison Boniface, and Dean Mickles. They're running for 2 seats on the board, and wish them all the best of luck, and thank you for caring about education. A few things to remind everyone of it too here as we approach closer. Like I said, we have new teachers this Wednesday. We have all of our staff, K through 12, custodians, bus drivers, everyone, nutrition staff, everyone coming here on August 17th. And then on August, other teachers are here August 18th and 21st and 22nd that way. And then we start school on August 23rd, but remember on the 22nd we have middle school orientation for all 6th grade students and new middle school students at 7 o'clock on the 22nd. And then high school orientation that day for any incoming freshmen and any new high school students is at 6 o'clock that evening. We also have Unpack the Backpack for grades PK through 5 from 6:30 to 7:15 that evening. And that's all on August 22nd, leading up to the big day of school starting on August 23rd. Start school, regular school hours, and we go for a full day. And it should be a great year. Looking forward to doing a lot of great things. Next week we'll have some updates on some other learning goals we have, along with a facilities update that way we've been going through. Make sure you check out our website. There's a link to a survey to talk about our facilities and give us your opinion and your thoughts on what we need to do with facilities, if anything. So on that note, have a great one. I will see everyone in the upcoming days, I'm sure, in upcoming weeks. Come out to events. First football game is actually on Friday, August 25th. See you there.